Hello and welcome to I Can't Say It Day 291. Hard to believe that I'm still making these videos. I've been thinking that it's time to mix it up a little. So I'm looking for ideas on what can make this a little bit more interesting. Because it's funny that you sort of keep making the videos just because it's sort of out of habit. But when you go into work, there are certain things that you can do. You get emails. There's work to be done with the emails. You can answer emails. You can do some research to answer people's emails. And you can feel like you've accomplished something. And then maybe you work on some other projects and you feel like you accomplished things there. But the question is, how satisfied are you with the job that you have done? Have you done a job that you would say is stellar, a job that was good, a job that was mediocre, or a job that was so-so? Where would you rank that? And when you start out the day, do you know what it is that you want to do or have accomplished by the end of the day? When you start a week, do you know what it is that you would want to have done by the end of the week? These are questions that, you never really, people don't actually talk about. Not too much. I mean, you do see the personal stories where people talk about, well, these are the things that they should do before lunch. These are the things you do before breakfast. These are the things that you do in the morning. And I guess it is addressed in there, the tasks and the things that need to be done. And I guess Franklin Covey's got his 7 habits of highly effective people, and they do talk about planning your time well. But you almost have to go out and want to do these things. It's almost as if, there has to be some inner drive within you to do these things. And then if you're in the workplace, you don't necessarily have, a company who says, you know what, we're going to make sure that our employees are doing their best at doing their job. They're the tasks that you need to do, and you get feedback from your boss. But are we really thinking long term? Are we thinking big picture? Are we thinking, is this what's most important to the employee? Is the employee getting out of the job what they should be? Is the company getting out of the employee the work necessary for the company to be successful? These are all great questions. And I gotta wonder what it is that an employer can do to help employees feel like they are accomplishing what they need to so that they can feel successful. Because, so today's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's Friday. It'll be the end of the week. When you get to the end of the week, do you say to yourself, wow, what did I accomplish this week? What am I going to accomplish next week? Or do you just really say, thank God, it's Friday. And you get through your Friday, and then you're driving home, and you start to think about the weekend. Where are we spending our time on self-reflection with respect to all the things in life that we can be doing? And I don't think we're doing that. We're spending too much time watching television. We're spending too much time on our phones. We're spending too much time on the internet. And there's just got to be some time for reflection. Some time to say to yourself, this is what I should be doing. And I do this to a certain degree, but I'm not sure that I think about it long term enough that I'm doing as well as I could be. So let's see, what is it so I have a pen, here we go. All right, so here is my weight. This is what I'm gonna do. You wanna be the change that you see in this world, then you gotta do something. Here we go. Here's my weight piece of paper. Oh, by the way, the scale said 255.4. So, the next big objective is to get to 254.8. 254.8. that means that would be below 255. That means I would be on the lower half of the 250 to 255 mark, and 255 to 260. Getting in that second half, ooh, wouldn't that be great? So here we go. I frequently will print out my Outlook calendar for the day. So let's do that first. So print out my Outlook calendar. Let me tell you what I do, usually on most days. Then, you know what I do? I really write down the word email, and then I put the number of emails that I have in my inbox so that I can then cross out that number and get down to 0. Sometimes it takes a half hour, sometimes it takes an hour. You know, if I were to spend just a little bit of time in the evenings looking at my work email and just answering and just trashing things, could save me some time on the next day. The problem is, and let's be clear, when you're looking at work emails, you have the potential for being upset by what somebody writes. Let's think about that. Your tone, your attitude, how you feel can be affected by the way somebody writes an email. It's right? Somebody sends you an email and it's like, why the hell are you sending me this email? There is no purpose in sending this email. This is a junk email. This is fluff email. There's nothing to be gained from sending me this email, and it pisses me off. So now the choice really is, can I get these people to stop sending emails? Probably not. So I have to change the way I approach these emails. So what I usually do is I don't respond to the emails. I make it because I did not see it didn't move the conversation along. This is the way I think about things. It's like you're asking a question, but it's not moving anything. It's not. Have you ever seen Finding Forrester? Soup question. That's all I'm going to say. Watch the movie, find out what a soup question is, and you'll understand. So you need to be making sure that you're adding value to whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're sending out an email, make sure that there's a purpose behind the email so that somebody knows something that they didn't know before, or you're informing them, you're instructing them, you're answering a question for them so that they can do what they need to do. If your email doesn't do any of those things, don't send it. Don't waste people's time. Don't copy the world. So yes, then I write down the number of emails and I cross them out because, like my son, he likes to have little wins. And so if I can cross out all my emails, then that means I've got a win. I've got those things. Then I have what is called a blank email. There's nothing there to stare at. There's no task before me. A single white sheet of paper right there. That tells me that I am then free to work on anything I feel like. And that can be either extremely daunting or extremely freeing. And when it's extremely freeing, then you can say, yes, I can work on this. But the problem is you need to know what to do. So there has to be some sort of method of organizing those tasks that need to be done. So the question is, and how do you organize your projects? And then you need to organize the tasks involved to complete those projects. So I've been working on an Excel spreadsheet to organize the tasks that need to be done. But the projects, it's not as successful. And so now what I need to do is, if I want to be successful, I need to figure out a way to deal with the projects. And right now, my Excel spreadsheet is designed like this. So let's see if you're looking at it this way. So there's categories here, and then the dates go across here. And so it'll say compensation, and if there's anything compensation, focal, benefits, open enrollment. The big projects now is Oracle. And that part I have not been addressing lately just because of timing and whatnot. And then I have other tasks down below. So this way I can keep track of everything. Maybe I need to identify the projects, split it up into your main subject areas, projects, and then other tasks. And these other tasks are things that just come up. Because what happens is somebody asks you to do something, and so you send off an email, and then you forget about it. So what I do is I send off an email, make a note that I sent off the email, and then put a follow-up reminder, say 2 or 3 days later, to follow up, so that I can say, okay, I know that I've taken care of this. And the method is working for me pretty much. A few things have slipped through the cracks, but not too much. So I've gone to, and I don't even print out the Excel spreadsheet, it doesn't really help unless I have my one-on-one. So maybe that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, is I'm going to put projects, give its own identification, its own section, so that I can then think about it, because that's what I got to do, is if I plan to be successful with projects and not just simple tasks and doing things, that people need to be done, then I need to find a way that allows me to focus more on projects. Because I think I've nailed the rest of the organizing my time, but I need to know how to handle the projects and to make progress on the projects when my email inbox is empty, which is always my first objective at the beginning of any day. Lots of things to think about. Pretty excited about this because I need to do something to make work a little bit more satisfying. And I'm just being honest here, because that's what I really like to do, is I like to make the work that I'm doing satisfying. Whether it's cleaning up my area, keeping a clean desk, getting through emails, all these things are satisfying. Cutting down all the branches here, satisfying. So, enough said about that. I am going to head off to bed. Wonder if the scale will be down to 254.8. Ooh, that'd be exciting. We had ice cream, so I don't know early now. We had pasta, so there's carbs. Lunch was really filling, but no carbs. It was sausage and meat and beets and corn. Yum. But I did have fig Newtons. So, anyway, I wish you all a pleasant evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.